So Jersey Mike's Subs is ranked as number 2 on Entrepreneur's Franchise 500 list. So are they really deserving of those rankings? Well, that's exactly what we're going to cover in today's video. If you're new here, my name is Tariq Johnson and I am the CEO and founder of Franchise Empire, where we have helped hundreds of people find, vet, and launch proven money-making franchises. And in these franchise breakdowns, we cover the startup cost, we cover the earnings, the sales, and interesting information about some of the most popular franchise brands that you know and see every single day, as well as that are on some of the top franchise lists to buy, and we really answer the question of, should they be? All right, so before we dive into the startup cost and the sales around Jersey Mike locations, they were actually founded in 1956 and they were just called Mike Subs out of, guess where? Jersey. Hence the name Jersey Mike's, get it? And they were one of the first sandwich shops to offer, what's funny is they called it submarine sandwiches. Did you know that subs are short for submarines? And I just realized why they call them subs in submarine sandwiches, because they look like submarines, right? So check this out. In 1975, almost 20 years after the original founder of Jersey Mike's, this guy, Peter Crancrow, bought that original Mike Subs location using a $125,000 loan. $125K. Now keep in mind, $125,000 back in 1975 was a lot of money. I don't know. We'll put up right here how much that is in today's inflation adjusted dollars, but it's more than you think. And so that $125,000 loan was actually arranged by Peter's high school football coach. And so Peter then 12 years later began franchising in 1987. Here's the crazy part. Fast forward. November of 2024, and Jersey Mike's was bought by the private equity group Blackstone for $8 billion. The crazy part is that Peter still is a majority stakeholder and he remained on as the CEO of the company, which is not uncommon after a company gets bought out for a large sum of money. Typically, the CEO has to stay on for at least a few years. Now, what does the size of Jersey Mike's look like? How did they earn that number 2 spot on the Entrepreneur's Franchise 500 rankings, which in my opinion is not actually representative of the franchises that you guys should buy and what makes you the most money? What it's most representative of is who has the strongest and most well-known brand and who has the largest amount of system-wide sales. How do you get the largest amount of system-wide sales? By having a lot more locations and then doing a certain amount of average sales per location, right? So that's really what that list is representative of. Hey, so if you want to learn the right way to own a money-making franchise without putting your family at risk financially, then check out our free masterclass at franchiseempire.com/masterclass. Let's get back to the episode. But in 2024, Jersey Mike's had 2,989 locations with, check this out, only 34 of them being company-owned locations. The remaining 2,955 are actually all franchise locations. So what are the costs? What is it going to set you back to be a Jersey Mike's franchisee? Well, the startup costs range from $181,000 to $1.4 million to get up and open. Obviously, that's a pretty large range. Your number is going to be pretty consistent if you're going into a shopping center and you have to do a whole build out for the location. Actually, when I owned my very first franchise location in California, we were 2 doors down from a Jersey Mike's. And I remember the guy, Alex, actually, him and I would chat all the time. Him and his business owners owned about 6 or 7 different Jersey Mike's. Actually had some in California and I think like Utah or Idaho. It's like some random state that they owned other locations in. And that was back in 2017. And I remember at the time him telling me that the opportunity just wasn't what it used to be, that the margins used to be much higher, the profitability used to be much higher. And at some point, year after year, it just kept decreasing and decreasing and decreasing. So I don't have any tangible facts around that in the margins, but why would he lie? So what does the financial performance look like? When we took a look at their 2025 FDD, we can see that they reported on 2,255 restaurants. And what we can see is that the average location does about $1.3 million on average. So imagine this, you shell out about $1 million to get your location open and the average sales is about $1.3 million. That's about a 1-to-1 sales to investment ratio, meaning that you're producing a 1-to-1 ratio ratio of how much it costs you to get it open versus how much in sales you're producing. And in my experience, that is not a good ratio, and that is not going to help you produce strong net margins and profitability to pay yourself. Generally, in a retail-based location where you have a space that you're renting out and you have a high rent payment, you want to see at least a 2-to-1 average sales to investment ratio. Meaning, if it costs me about $1 million to get it up and open, I want to see average store sales at about $2 million. Now, the lowest location with Jersey Mike's did about $472,000 in sales, with the highest location doing $4.1 million in sales. Now, keep in mind, Jersey Mike's does charge a 6.5% royalty on your sales. That is going to be paid weekly, as well as a 4% amount for national advertising, because again, you see Jersey Mike's commercials and billboards and all of that stuff everywhere you go. With smaller franchises that don't have thousands and thousands of locations, you're typically not going to be paying as high as 4% for the national advertising cost. So I'm curious, after understanding the startup cost, after understanding the earnings, how many locations they have, would you still own a Jersey Mike's franchise? If so, why? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this style of video and you like understanding the startup costs and the earnings and all these interesting facts around these franchises, some of the most popular franchises, then click here and check out this playlist where you can watch a bunch of other videos on some of the biggest franchise names that we've done, breaking them down just like this video. Make sure to subscribe before you go, and we will see you on the next one.